I watch Hello Okanagan from Vernon.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Hello Okanagan. We're in the deep south of the Okanagan at a place called Oliver, British Columbia, and we're at Covert Farms. David, what are these guys going to see us do here?
Well guys, this is a massive farm with fun for all ages, tons of activities, and we're going to show you guys what they have to offer. If you've not subscribed to our YouTube channel yet though, please make sure you do so. It really helps us out a lot. But without further ado, let's get straight into the farm. All right, we're here with Shelly and Jean Covert from Covert Farms, and they're going to tell us all about the history. Thank you guys so much for having us today.
Well, thank you for coming today.
Amazing. So tell us about the history of Covert Farms. We just threw the drone in the air, and we've seen how massive this place actually is. It's quite impressive.
Jean's grandfather came here from California in 1959. He was a shipper and packer of onions and tomatoes, and found out that the Okanagan could actually grow soft fruit. So he was pretty intrigued when he found that out and decided that at the end of his season, he would come out and check it out, and fell in love with this property and purchased it, and then broke the news to his family that kind of towards their retirement that they were moving to the Okanagan. So when they first arrived, they were growing mostly onions,
Yeah.
and then tomatoes, and in the late 60s, 70s, they planted wine grapes as well.
Wow, that's really so those must be some pretty old vines. Are they still here today?
Most of those have been pulled out. The original plantings were all hybrids.
Okay.
So the initial sort of first chapter of the Okanagan wine industry started out with hybrids because they had excellent yields, good cold tolerance. You know, they wouldn't have suffered like some of the vineyards did this winter. But they made basically inferior wine. So most of those got removed in the early 80s, and we still have some old table grapes that probably are about 40, 45 years old.
Wow.
So yeah, they're still kicking.
But when you say inferior, I mean when it's in dead of winter, it'll still keep you warm.
Oh yeah,
It'll
yeah.
still make you feel good.
Yeah. By the gallon.
Back then, yeah, totally.
So that's 60s, 70s. Fast forward a little further. How did you guys develop some of the other parts of this farm?
Well, so through the 80s and 90s, early 2000s, we were still doing vegetables and switched out of grapes mainly for apples. That one sort of bottom fell out of that market, and so we're back into vineyards again. And then sadly, my father passed away in 2004, and my mom retired, and so Shelly and I sort of looking forward, saw way too much work for just ourselves. And we wanted to farm organically, and so we partnered with another local winery who leases a big chunk from us, and that allowed us the time and resources to convert the remaining land that we had, about 150 acres, to organic production.
That's one thing I noticed is the community in the Okanagan. A lot of people are offering their land for someone else to grow something. So whether it's like you're growing vines like grapes for someone else, or someone else is growing tomatoes for someone else just because of where their land might be and they got the extra space, so they're like, yeah, you can just utilize our land to grow your whatever it is. Like, I love the community and how everybody helps, and it's all over the place. I mean, you could be in the south here, but someone up north is growing something for you as well, and vice versa.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's a nice tight community that way, and everyone works together. I mean, on the farming side, you know, the markets and Mother Nature are, your biggest competitor. You know, so we all have to work together and to make things happen. So I mean, you see that all the time during harvest. Everyone's like running around sharing crews and equipment and stuff like that.
And outside from being a market, I mean, just walking here, you're already overtaken by, you guys offer a lot of things. I mean, there's activities, there's You got a gazebo here and a shelter for receptions and weddings. I mean, you probably done concerts here maybe, or ever thought of that? I mean, this is a great location for a lot of fun activities.
We have, so in 2000 we converted, this was a draft horse barn.
Okay.
And we converted it into a fruit stand and decided that we would get a little bit more into ecotourism. And so we opened up a restaurant in here, we had the wine shop in here and a fruit stand as well. We've done a number of things. We had a Festival of the Tomato, which gathered about 2,000 people here.
Wow.
And we've done an adventure race here. We did it for 8 years called the Freakin' Farmer, kind of like a Tough Mudder. And we've done concerts here, so we've partnered up with
Route 97 Cultural Corridor. Yeah, and 2 concerts last year, and then we're working on another couple more this year.
Nice. And what part of the land do you have the concerts at?
So we built a band shell a couple of years ago, so right there, and then we have all the guests in the reception.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, amazing. Well, let's take a tour of the farm and this fine vehicle behind us, and
absolutely,
see what it's all about.
So yeah, this is our 1952 Mercury. Pretty much still stock equipment, stock engine, flathead V8 and straight cut gear transmission, so little grinding, a little double shifting.
Perfect.
So yeah, we'll do a whole loop of the property.
Amazing.
So the facility behind us is operated by the Apex Freestyle Club out of Penticton. And this is where they train freestyle athletes of all levels, from like 6-year-olds all the way up to the Olympic team. Wow. And so it's a good partnership for us. This is our irrigation reservoir that we use for backup water. And they keep it filled up and the pump's all running and maintained, and so it's ready at a moment's notice. And fortunately, we've only needed to use it once in the last 16 years.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So is it just ski jump, or okay, in my mind I can see like guys with BMX bikes or whatever, like doing the backflips.
Yeah, no, it's just for freestyle skiers. Yeah, so mainly mogul athletes.
And how long's that been there?
I think it's about 8 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and so this main jump right here is for the sort of pro levels, and then this is sort of the small jump there for the younger kids getting
When you
started.
think of Oliver, you don't think of ski jumps. So what are those propellers there for?
Those are frost fans,
Okay.
and so they're typically used during spring and fall to protect the vines and the buds from a frost. And on nights when there's no wind and a clear sky, you typically get what's called an inversion in the atmosphere, where the colder air settles to the bottom and the warmer air is up above. So these fans are basically designed to stir up that air and bring that warm air down, down to the floor of the vineyard. And on a typical night, it can raise the temperature about 5 degrees.
And the elevation that you're at, I mean, that obviously there's a huge difference from here down there as far as how cold it can get.
Even if you have an inversion, some of this air will be a little bit warmer sometimes in the night up here versus down in the valley floor. It just depends on what's going on at the time.
And I've noticed in the past at some vineyards where they have this sound that just sounds like a shotgun went off to scare birds. Do you have anything like that? Do you have any issues with the birds?
We don't typically have too many issues with birds. The reason being, we sort of have a holistic approach to it. We grow a lot of cover crops to support our vineyard, and we have livestock. And those bring in lots of other smaller birds, for example, like pigeons and doves and that kind of thing. Yeah. Which are typically prey for a lot of the raptors. So we have a lot of like osprey and falcons, merlins, different eagles and such. So
you do some great bird watching up here.
There's fantastic bird watching here. And having all those extra raptors around, the starlings don't want to go into your vineyard. So,
so everybody's helping each other out.
Yeah.
I like that.
So back in this corner over here is all the organic fruits and vegetables. This is another part of the business that the fruit and vegetable side that we lease out. to our operations manager. And in season we have blueberries, blackberries, raspberries. Coming up in about 2 weeks, strawberries will be ready for harvest. Then there's peaches, nectarines, garlic, onions, tomatoes, watermelon, you name it.
So this is our picnic barn. So during the summer we host picnics in here. So people can come and book a picnic. It comes with a charcuterie board and wine, and for the kids it comes with a little ham and cheese or meat and cheese board and a juice tasting as well. And on Sundays we have live music in our band shell, and that goes right from Mother's Day all the way to the end of October.
Amazing. And this is also where you can do weddings and receptions and everything, right?
Yeah, so we host weddings here. We can host up to 150 guests in here. And we have a nice dance floor there, room for a band or a DJ, and then they've got a big dance floor out on the south end of the patio as well.
Very cool. It looks like a photo op area as well. You got a couple of them set
Yeah,
up.
there was a couch that we just couldn't resist.
Nice.
So, and most
It fits.
people...
It fits.
It does.
It fits in there.
Wow, you are hungry. How about... Is that right?
Can I put a saddle on this thing and ride him? Look how big he is.
Our Epicurean tasting, that's part of your tour. And we'll do a 7 wine tasting through our portfolio, paired with charcuterie and local veggies.
So are you doing this just for us, or do you do this for regular guests as well?
No, we do this for regular guests.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and that's part of the tour. And you can also, if you don't have time for the tour, you've been there before, you can come and just do the tasting. And we also do a smaller scale tasting, and we do campfire cookouts, which we're going to show you guys in a few minutes. And I think Shelly went over the picnics and that kind of thing. So. This is our Sauvignon Blanc Semillon blend. A little bit of limey, you get some bunch grass, and so we blend it with Semillon, which really adds some mouthfeel and weight to it.
So usually in our peak of our season, because we grow over 40 different fruits and vegetables here, we showcase what we grow. So right now, it's been a cold spring. There's nothing really in production in the Okanagan here. So we have to source it outside of the Okanagan, but usually it's all our produce on the plate. And then we've actually done up some of our own pepperoni. We've had it made up for us out of our own pork, and that is on some of the plates now, and that's what we feature on the kids board. So we've made a honey ham stick for them.
You hear this a lot in the Okanagan, from farm to table. So this is literally from the beverages to the sustenance. It's farm to table.
Everything, yeah. We raise the livestock, we make the wine, grow the vegetables and fruit and stuff like that. Everything happens on the property with
Wow, that's perfect.
a big team of people.
Yeah, oh yeah, it would take a village.
Yeah.
And all the cheeses we do, if not BC, there are some that we've done from Quebec as well, but they're all Canadian cheeses.
Up in the middle is our 2021 rosé. So it's Signage means like to bleed, and so what we do is when we bring the red grapes in for production, what we'll do is after we crush them and they go into the fermenter, we'll bleed off some of the juice, and that's what we'll use for the rosé. So it has like literally like just an hour or two of skin contact time. So that gives it that that nice almost coppery tone to it. And rosés are nice because they're really refreshing. It's done in a dry style.
And rosé's really gotten popular in the last 5 years or so. So it seems like you always hear about people having rosé or more rosé companies coming out.
Yeah.
Do you are your wines in liquor stores, or you can only get them here?
Nope, we're in private liquor stores and restaurants throughout the province.
All through the Okanagan too?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
sweet.
So you guys at home, you heard that here first. If you can make it down to Oliver, ask your local liquor store.
We make all the condiments ourselves, and Two Rivers sausages for adults, the Smokies, and Two Rivers hot dogs for kids. And then we do local buns from Big L's Bakery here. And then we do s'more packages as well.
Oh my
Who
gosh.
doesn't want to come to
Totally.
a campfire without making the
that's
s'mores?
perfect.
And then we have juice for kids, and then you get to choose a bottle of wine for the adults.
So, I mean,
and so then this is a 2-hour experience.
what I'm learning here is, as opposed to other farms, I mean, everyone's got their own niche, but this isn't just a farm where you're growing things. It's an adventure park. I mean, there's activities, there's evening events. I mean, you can be here all day.
You could, and that's what we try. We are passionate about our regenerative farming and how we farm, and we want to share it with people. So to have people come and spend the day and get a feel of what it's like
Be
and
one
learn
with
about
nature,
it.
yeah.
When we're doing our wine tastings, all of our staff is educated about the regenerative farming practices that we do and share it with all of our guests.
Amazing. I'm actually having one of your campfire sausages right now, and you can see David's actually jumping into the s'mores section of it. Is that a separate fee itself?
That is, so you can purchase a campfire cookout, and that gives you your own private fire pit for 2 hours, your
2
Two Rivers
hours,
hot
wow.
dogs, Two Rivers Smokies, and your s'mores, and your wine and juice for kids. You could also book an Epicurean tasting, which you get 7 wines and a charcuterie board, or just a estate tasting, which is 5 wines. Or you can book in our picnic barn, and that gives you your wine and your charcuterie board, and kids can have a meat and cheese board and a juice tasting as well.
And the one thing you were saying, because this is like one of the best sausages I've ever had. I mean, everything is, again, from farm to table, like even from the condiments you were giving us, you were saying.
Yeah, so all of our condiments we make ourselves here on the farm, and the sausages and hot dogs are all from Two Rivers Meats, so that's all locally BC.
Amazing.
And we do gluten-free options and vegan options for everything as well.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Paul. Would you like some wine, sir? So one of the other beautiful things in here, besides obviously the wine and such that you can take home, the meat that we just had isn't just to sample here. You can literally take these home. I mean, is this like a new thing you guys are just starting to do now?
Yeah, we've just literally over the winter time, Farmhouse Butcher in Westbridge just got their abattoir license back in August, and we had our first butcher date back in January. And so we did a few hogs and a couple steers, and so we're just starting to get that first product out now. And so for starters, we have a spicy pepperoni and a honey garlic pepperoni, and then we have a number of cuts done up as well. So we got lamb chop or pork chops, bacon, and various cuts of beef, and all of it is organically raised on our farm. The beef is grass fed and finished, and you can just see the beautiful yellow cap fat on that. That's from eating all the beautiful cover crops and stuff on our farm.
And we were talking about the condiments as well for the little barbecue that we just had. That's all in house as well?
Yeah, we
make
most of the condiments and stuff from produce from the farm when it's in season.
That's awesome. And so now inside your shop, I see there's a plethora of items besides your wine. You've got honey, and is that all just locally, you know,
yeah, lots
sourced
of
stuff? Or?
Yeah, locally sourced stuff. All the honey's from local beekeepers and such. And yeah.
What else do you guys have down here?
We have some mustards and other condiments and some preserved goods from folks up and down the valley.
Awesome, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for being a wonderful hostess, and with your husband as well, who was a wonderful host. Again, if you guys don't realize this, it's not just a farm where you get your vegetables and your fruits. There's a winery, there's activities, games. You can have your wedding here, corporate functions, bring the kids and relax with a glass of wine as they play, and on and on and on. So thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks so much for sharing it with
Thank
us.
you.
And if people want more information, Shelley, where can they go?
They can go to covertfarms.ca.
Amazing. Thank you so much again, and stay tuned for future episodes like this of Hello Okanagan, guys. Thanks for watching this episode of Hello Okanagan at Covert Farms. And a big thank you to the Coast Hotel here in Oliver for providing the accommodation for this trip of Hello Okanagan.
I had a great time in here. They got a pool, a hot tub, great rooms. When you're in Oliver, make sure you check this out.